great day, honeys. I hope you guys are awesome. So, you guys, what you see here is my very first journal. It's entitled Dear Future Husband, the Waiting Space Journal. And of course, it's by me, Strokes of Freedom. And so, if you are interested in knowing what these pages are all about and really jumping into this and why the colors and all these different things, what you can expect, just make sure you stay tuned. Okay, so let's jump in it. You guys have to pardon my desk as well. She's been through a couple things. But anywho, so for Dear Future Husband, the Waiting Space Journal, I really wanted to create a space for you to understand what the waiting space is. You're not in a holding cell. You're not in prison. It is not punishment for any previous life circumstances or anything of that nature, but it's a space for you to get to know yourself, connect with yourself, and really figure out, what does marriage mean to me? Who am I as a person? Who am I as a woman? Who am I at my core? And so what you'll find kind of scattered throughout this particular work of art, or this particular journal, are YouTube videos. I really was thinking, God, how can I really make sure that this particular journal stands out? That it's not just, just a lot of lined pages, right? So I incorporated quotes, I incorporated YouTube content, and a lot of prompts, just because even for this, what grace will you need from your husband? We don't even fully think about those things every day. And so I really wanted to craft something that would meet you where you are, no matter where you are in the space. And the journal is completely and totally opinion based. It's about your experience, it's about your thoughts and your mindset. And so even again with the quotes, I wanted to make sure that for this particular one, there's a lot of breaking down of walls that we have to do. We initially built walls to protect ourselves, to make sure that we were secure, but now those walls are operating as a prison, and they're blocking us in. And so you'll see that there's quotes throughout, as I mentioned a couple of times. And then there's also poetry. I'm a huge fan of, if you know people who do great things and are awesome, and they're a part of your crew, you make sure that you highlight them. You give them space to also express themselves. And so my great friend Rolanda Sue, also known as Rose Sue, she provided a few different poems, a few different pieces of poetry for us to reflect on. And I was really, really grateful for that, because it wasn't something that she had to do. So I was very honored to feature a few of her pieces here in the pages. And what you're looking at now is Let's Write Together. So it's definitely more than a catchy tagline. It's a phrase. It's more than a catchy tagline or phrase. It's truly an invitation. So even for this, I wanted to make sure that there was a personal touch, that women could write in letters to their future husbands. There's even some to their current husbands. Just for it to be that there is the aspect of, you're not alone in your journey. You're not alone with writing to your husband, or maybe this encourages you to write to him more and share your thoughts with him. But I really, really wanted to make sure I incorporated the thoughts and the hearts of women. Women who either are in the waiting space, or even women who are continuously doing work, even if they're married. And so that's what you'll find there, just in the back. I'm all about people's stories and them sharing their own narrative, sharing their own truth in a way that they can appreciate and respect. And so there in the back, it's just my website information and different ways that we can make sure we stay connected by joining the waiting list and reading other people's stories. I help people tell their stories, and it's been a while since I've sat down to interview someone or provided someone with an interview to be featured on my blog, but that is something I'm jumping back into. But I'm just flipping through here. I chose these colors on purpose. The yellow is more so from my Strokes of Freedom brand, and the purple is more so from my modeling brand, which I found a lot of liberation there as well. And so I decided to match the two up. They're very complementary colors. And so I wanted for the entire journal to be an experience. I didn't want just solid black and white. I wanted for there to be some vibrant, colors, just a nice aesthetic and things of that nature. Here I'm just showing just the thickness of the actual journal. It totaled to a little over 200 pages. And that, of course, factors into the cost of it, because it is full color. And then it's an 8x10 journal. And so that definitely factored into the cost greatly. On Amazon, it's available for $35. I have taken orders personally, and it's just a little bit less than that. But it's going to be easier and better to order from Amazon, because that way you're able to order it on like a Monday, and if you have Prime, you get it by Wednesday or Thursday. And so I didn't include my name there. It was a bit challenging to get this particular part to a satisfactory point, I guess, with Amazon or with KDP. And so after a while, I was like, it's not even about me. Yes, it's something that I've published, but the actual journal itself is about you and your experience. And so I wanted to keep the focus on it being, these are your strokes of freedom. This is where you write. This is where you really take hold of the space that you're in. And so overall, you guys, that is the journal. Dear future husband, the waiting space. Again, there's quotes, there's journal prompts. You can do this with a small group of women if you want. I've been approached about that too. So for wholesale items, but the goal is just for you to explore. I'm a huge fan on exploration leads to discovery. So write until you're content. You can also choose a separate journal to write in. And so say if you have just a regular lined blank journal, you're more than welcome to just jump in and write instead of writing in the pages of the journal, because you could have this journal for like another year or another 2 years or so, or maybe you want to pass it along to someone else. And so what I'm showing here is just an example of that. I have this beautiful journal that I got from maybe like Marshall's or TJ Maxx or something a couple years ago, and I use that one for my journaling pop-ups. But in case you wanted to have a journal where you could write your reflections in and preserve your actual journal, then that's fine. The journal here on the left I think is awesome, mainly because the line pages are super great. They're neat, and it gives you room to write as much as you would need to be able to. But all in all, you guys, I love it. I love this journal. I love the fact that you get to sit in a space with yourself and just write your thoughts out, write what you're thinking, write what you're feeling, and all those great things. But you can use this particular journal to reflect and to write instead of writing in the actual pages of your journal. So I think that to me is one of the greatest pieces of that as well. But I would say write until you are completely content. Write until you are fully satisfied with what it is that you wanted to share and what it is you wanted to say. But overall, that is Dear Future Husband, the Waiting Space Journal, and I have all the information linked below for you guys. And let's write together.